Welcome everybody back to the Spinner Rack. I'm here with my boys, and we're going to be talking about what is the problem with you guys? I can't win with you guys.
I'm here with
all
the guys.
I'm here with Cal and Petey. You know what I'm trying to say? We're talking about the madness that's coming out. A Carnage movie, and Spider-Man is going to be in it. What you guys think about that?
We don't know if Spider-Man's going to be in it.
Of course he's going to be in it.
Possibility of him being in it.
Where'd you hear this? NYCC?
No, they've been talking about this in a while. This is the whole thing. Sony's been developing this whole new Spider-Verse, and they want to make sure that Spider-Man is going to be central to it. So they're bringing in Carnage.
Shows up in it.
Shows up in it.
That's actually, to be honest, that's a smart move.
So we talked to people.
Finally.
So
I've been arguing with people saying, no, you can't sully Venom with Spider-Man. It's like, are you kidding?
If Sony doesn't do something like this and is forward thinking, you know, we already know. Look, the mouse is already waiting. They're like, look, we're gonna get him back. That's pretty much it.
They're gonna have to pay out the wazoo, and they don't.
No,
people
they'll just
don't
buy.
want them to
It'll
do
be
that.
cheap. It'll be cheaper for them to buy Sony. It'll be cheaper for them to buy Sony.
You're right about that. But you see, we went to the Comic-Con and we were talking to a bunch of people out there, and we asked them the question: what do you think about Spider-Man being part of the? I'm starting a whole new Spider-Verse and getting involved in the movie with Carnage. And you know what? Surprisingly, a lot of people tend to like it. They thought a lot of people, you know, it's a very surprising thing. If you look at the comics, Carnage is doing very well. They have this whole Absolute Carnage chain, and now it's being derivative. They have Deadpool as Carnage, Gwenpool. I mean, everybody's now this Absolute Carnage. It's just crazy. I can't get into Carnage personally that much, but I see what's going on, and a lot of people are really liking it. And in the con, we interviewed probably close to 15, 20 people, and one of the things that come out, that video is coming out, guys, that what people talked about is like they really liked it and they thought that was a good idea, you know, because they felt like, a lot of them also felt like the Spider-Verse movie was a very good movie. It wasn't as well received as it should have been, but it did well for
you're saying it wasn't $1 million. That's
that was
what
a very
saying.
good movie. It was very well received. Made a good amount of money.
It should have done like a $500 million. It was just that good. In fact,
it cost 90 and it made like over 300.
Made 360
this isn't a
million.
Disney. I don't think that's just totally unfair. If it was a Disney film and it pulled in those type of numbers, maybe you'd have some side of argument. But expecting $500 million on an animated film,
it was a great movie.
No, you're saying
a great story.
That doesn't mean great movies don't have to be billions.
They don't have to make the money that you want. Mars.
Okay.
That was like Shazam. Shazam had a.
That was a great movie too.
Shazam had like a 90 million. It was 90 million budget. Came back like quadrupled the amount of money that they put into it, and people are like, well, you know, it didn't.
That's what it can't.
And mind you, these were Marvel numbers. When Marvel first came out, these were the numbers that these guys did. Where Captain America was like 126 million, came back, made 376, and these guys are like, great. And what they didn't throw away the baby or the bathwater. They were like, no, room to grow. Okay, we made this. It was profitable. We can keep going forward with it. That's how you got to look at it.
Don't say it, because you're going to turn into the Jim Lee X-Men #1 and saying comics need to sell 8 million all the time. You're going to be the Jay-Z, DMX, everything has to go diamond. You can't do that. This is like, you have to find what your benchmark is, and we talked about this before, and you keep going to the Marvel numbers. They're nutty because it's a freaking, they put every huge superhero into
Don't
these
go
books.
dissing Marvel.
No, I'm saying they put everyone, you got to expect it to be
you
like
guys
a
have
billion.
my resume, don't forget that.
Oh,
Look,
gosh.
so look, gentlemen, so
you can have that Marvel stuff, but remember, what was the Marvel process? They didn't start off $1 billion.
Okay, guys, I'm hearing you. Just don't diss the company. So getting back to Sony right now, what are your thoughts on that?
Do you talk about the Disney, the whole thing about the controversy that's going on in the parks? You don't want to talk about that, right? Okay, let's not talk about that.
Talk about that. You want
the
to
911 calls.
Oh,
people needing help being stuck on the air train.
Anybody can get stuck anywhere. Anybody can get stuck.
But
anywhere.
they're trying to
make it though as a systematic. It's not Disney.
No,
it's not Disney.
Mickey didn't help them.
No, they're trying to. People want to talk about it.
Yeah,
and
when
say,
you're on top,
happened,
people want to bring you down. You know what I'm trying to say?
Say, you're not a Disney fan. Shut them up. They're going out there. It's like Succession. You ever watch Succession? It's exactly like that.
Is it a good show?
It's a very good show.
Okay, so that's another thought.
Maybe we talk about it later. Okay.
Yeah. So getting back to about
this, we have Venom. Venom is a success. No one expected it to be a success.
Not I.
Success.
Not I.
Now, at the same time that happened, let's go through it quickly. At the same time that happened, Marvel and Sony were struggling. Disney and Sony were struggling. They broke up. They got back together, and then they're possibly doing the last Marvel Sony movie. But then we got a Venom coming back.
That's not gonna happen. They're gonna do more movies.
We got Spider-Man possibly, and we also have Naomi Harris, who's going to play Shriek. She's one of those characters that came out in the 90s, and who cares what it is? it's Naomi Harris, and she's in a superhero movie. I didn't get my money penny. And I'm going to have to watch that nutty cop movie with her and Tyrese. And I'm not a big fan of Tyrese, but we got Naomi Harris. We're in there. We're all to the good. Well, no, all jokes aside.
Naomi Harris hasn't done a superhero movie, as far as I know.
But she's done an action movie?
Has she
Played
done
Moneypenny?
We know Moneypenny, but
She was action-packed in that?
we're not sure how that's going to be.
Oh my God! What are you talking about?
All
All
I'm
right,
saying
let's be serious. Let's be serious for a second. Venom wasn't expected to be a success,
And I'm shocked that it did. I don't know how.
It did well, right?
Clearly, it's a younger audience that really like that show. That's what I found out. A lot of younger people like Venom.
It's just a fun,
he connects with
silly
them.
movie.
Okay.
When he has the thing where he's eating the crab, he's eating the lobster.
I understand.
He's in there, and he's and what's the name is almost pimp-like. Venom is almost pimp-like. Calls him the P word. That comes totally out the blue, as in perfection.
I mean, the change in the Venom character is just crazy.
That's not a change.
Cal, what's your thought on that?
Oh, okay, you can't do Venom from the comics and expect that to fly in the first movie. You know, he's not eating people's brains.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for me, I was always Venom for me has always been a villain. Okay, but he was one of those villains that was so popular. They were like, look, how can we get this guy out there? We got to make him an anti-hero. Okay, that's the only safe way for us to do it. That's how you get the Joker having a 9-issue series. And I was like, isn't this guy like a murderer? And he's like, yeah, but they can come over and do that type of stuff because because he's that popular. Putting Spider-Man in the film, I think, is a good move if these guys are thinking long term on keeping these characters viable. It's the same thing. Why did they want Spider-Man back in the Marvel Universe? Because it works and it's going to help us out.
Yes.
So do that, especially since you own the character, you got the rights, you might as well try to use them here. Help everything else out at that nature. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about the direction they're going to take with the next film. I don't even think they were expecting it to be as big of a hit as it was. So I'm not sure. Everybody always has that backdoor thing going on where, okay, we're going to show somebody else at the end and hopefully we can see these characters. Because we had that in Amazing Spider-Man 2 where we saw some people come in and then we never saw in Amazing Spider-Man 3. Things just stopped. So, I think Woody Harrelson as Carnage is he's a good actor, so we could definitely see some stuff over there. I just don't know what they're going to do with Carnage, who was supposed to be worse than Venom was. If Venom was bad, Carnage, and again, Venom, you've got to read issue 298, 299, 300 and see what Venom was doing at that point.
When you go to that one,
this guy was scary.
It's almost a rape victim. Like Mary Jane was almost a rape victim. All the symbolism is there.
Yeah.
That she's like, and she can't look at that costume anymore. Yeah. She's so freaked out.
Okay, that's where this guy started. So for me, again, that's where I'm remembering the character. Then you get like Lethal Protector and, okay. They're palling around. They're like, "Hey, Venom, hey, buddy." That along those lines. I really want to see what they're going to do with Carnage because I've been looking at the comics, following along, and Carnage right now is in this steady flight pattern. Okay, where a Carnage book is still selling, but it's not selling for what I think it should. Because there was a point where the Venom books, once that film started coming down the pipe, forget about it. If they had Venom on the cover, I could get pretty much whatever I wanted for it. Carnage, I expect to do the same. Even though there was this one guy I had a conversation with, and you're still wrong, buddy. There was this one guy I had a conversation. He's like, well, no, we can't expect those numbers from Carnage because Venom is a hero and Carnage is a villain. I was like, what have you been, whatever. Okay, but I'm expecting that first appearance of Carnage, okay, and other stuff to really go gangbusters. And I think you got guys right now, like me, are just stockpiling the book. They're keeping it over here, and they're just waiting for that number to get to where it's supposed to be. I am looking forward to seeing what they produce. I'm looking forward to it.
I just want to add that Carnage, when he was created, was like, you can call like house money, right? Because when I saw the cover, I was like, wow, Venom got a new costume. And the next thing is like, no, this is Carnage. And it's like, what? It's like, oh, this is a spawn of Venom. Yeah. And you read it, it's just like an action-packed, fun comic, and it leads.
Spawn of Venom?
It's like, you go through these books, it's just a fun sort of thing. We have Venom and Carnage, and then Venom kind of became a little better because he had those moments where he touched a cat. It's like, oh, I'm not going to kill a cat. But the idea was that this menacing thing could turn and eat that cat. That's what the whole point of when he's acting nice or comes and sees Aunt May or something like that. So this is sort of another house money because you got two Venoms, and this is a classic thing of superheroes where you have your opposite evil. Now it's not really opposite evil. This is like your eviler brother sort of thing. So
eviler son.
Or son, or maybe it's like Wolverine and what's the name? Wolverine and Sabretooth, that sort of thing. So it's sort of the same guy, but a little bit more.
And what's the character that's the spawn of Carnage?
The Red Goblin?
No. There's another one. There's another one. There's
there's a bunch of symbiotes, but the only spawn of Carnage that I've, if I'm correct, is the Red Goblin.
No, then
is it Shriek? Is Shriek his name of Paris? Name of
Shriek? You sure?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. We don't know.
But hey, that's our thoughts
it was
right here.
so muddled after that part where they had so many the Venom spawns.
Yeah, it was like Venom, what was it, Identity Crisis? And there was like Shriek and Riot, Phage, it was like 5 different ones. There's too many of them.
Yeah. So when they talk about the Clone Saga, they forget a little before that where the Maximum Carnage was just a total mess. But it sold. So no one really complains about Maximum Carnage as a storyline because they're like, hey, we're competing with the X-Men, and X-Men are doing an event every period, like having.
But it's kind of interesting right now because you have.
It was 14 issues? Maximum Carnage?
Yeah.
You had the X-Men, the whole revamp of the X-Men stuff. You have Absolute Carnage going on. They have the whole return of Conan with the Avengers and Savage Avengers.
And they also have another Conan series.
And then they have the Star Wars. It's like they have all this stuff coming out, and it's like they have.
Conan's a symbiote. Yeah, he's got a symbiote sword.
Maximum Conan.
Oh my gosh! Listen, thank you everybody.
You also have, what was the other thing? Then you had the dullest Fantastic Four. No, I'm off topic. Sorry, I apologize.
You said we had 10 minutes, so.
I know. I'm saying I chimed in and I was okay. You can spin a rack out.
Spin a rack out. Peter and Kyle.